Hi, welcome to She Spice. Hollywood resembles a performer's cap loaded with eccentricities and unlikely treasures, from marvelous gatherings to succulent embarrassments, and those slippery moves to keep specific films quiet media outlets are loaded with mysteries in addition to overseeing specialists, which resembles harming felines in sparkle tone. Besides, there's a typical conviction that Hollywood draws craftsmen in, but once they've gone about their responsibilities and gotten a top in the background, standing up can end their professions. Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson are among those who are uncovering reality with regards to how Hollywood, as a matter of fact, works. Come here, come on, I'll give you a complimentary lift. You rehash it. Show this kid. Go on now. That is dynamite, kid. That is fantastic. It's an obvious fact that big names once in a while participate in a touch of innocuous chit-chat about their kindred entertainers. Take Mel Gibson and the notable Christopher Walken, for example. Walken has been a flat-out power of nature in Hollywood, stunning crowds with his interesting style and flexibility, from idiosyncratic characters to a great many valid depictions across different sorts. He's been a diversion. Stalwart's dauntless presence on both the cinema and television has left an extraordinary imprint on fans' hearts, with a voice that could order a room, a face that could send off 1,000 boats, and a demeanor so serious it could turn milk harsh. Christopher Walken has that creepy presence that makes Hollywood pay attention. Yet what truly separates him are the spine-shivering jobs he takes on. Walken spends significant time making light of characters so extraordinary they send rears your spine quicker than an exciting ride, and they have very few 3D embellishments. However, they do work at a more significant level. It's nothing unexpected that when individual famous people saw Walken routinely unfolding the shroud of such serious and terrifying jobs, they really wanted to connect him with those characters. Some could say individuals were more frightened of leaving screen than on take. Denis Villeneuve, for instance, and Patrice Vermette, the creation architect of Two, referenced in a meeting that projecting the Deer Tracker entertainer as the film's antagonist was a simple decision, considering it an easy decision due to the picture he had in the business. He expressed discussing antagonists, and the film will at last present the Pisha ruler Shaddam. In The Tissue and Bad Guy, No clarified that projecting Christopher Whalen in the job was an easy decision since something doesn't add up about that man that deserves admiration. Wan's frigid quality even figured out how to give the charming Mel Gibson a serious instance of the heebie-jeebie during their most memorable experience. This exceptional gathering re-emerged in a rare 1998 meeting where Gibson let the cat out of the bag on his fairly disruptive take on the film business. The meeting became a web sensation, setting the internet-based local area abuzz with wild, paranoid fears. Following Gibson's remarks, he recognized that I thought it was good and gracious. Chris Walken is the Antichrist. You know, Gibson's remark about Walken was misguided on the grounds that regardless of his looks and spooky quality, he is an unbelievable entertainer who has added to Hollywood with his enthralling exhibitions. It appears that the people who thought for even a moment to talk about the incredible entertainer could have felt the cold breezes of dissatisfaction from a portion of Hollywood's first class as of late. Mel Gibson has been working ceaselessly on a fairly dubious film, and the most recent buzz is an incredible gem. The word on the road is that the film has accomplished a stunning achievement, breaking the $150 million boundary in the cinematic world, and its transient ascent appears to be not even close to running out of steam in spite of woke Hollywood and the liberal news media attempting to rule on its procession. This film took care of its expenses as well as rounded up a gigantic 10-time return. It's cutting out a spot in film industry history as one of the most stunning triumphs at any point. Bits of hearsay propose that Gibson is equipping to deliver an earth-shattering 4-section narrative series that will dig into the mysterious universe of worldwide deplorable wrongdoings. As per sources at Newsweek, this shocking disclosure expects to feature the business's stunning yearly income of $34 billion, a figure so immense that it's staggeringly outperforming even the yearly income of the carrier business. Here's Tim Ballantyne from Activity Underground, supposedly the primary character in Gibson's film. He's a critical figure in the worldwide battle against human trafficking and shared bits of knowledge about Gibson's job in the undertaking. Ukraine got a call from Plant Gibson. He really did the last altar of the sound of opportunity, which is the manner in which we realize each other, yet not great, not all right, to that getting calls. This film recounts the genuine story of Tim Ballard. The history uncovers that Tim, who had a foundation with the CIA and later joined the branch of country security, went through years focusing on shoppers of illegal material, including diggers. Regardless of his endeavors, he confronted difficulties in safeguarding the kids impacted by double dealing. Tim portrayed his experience. I burned through 12 years as a specialist covert administrator for the branch of country security, zeroing in on kid wrongdoings, counterterror ISM, and it advanced in the early years. It was for the most part cases, including people having and dispersing unlawful material. I generally pondered. Where are the children watching these recordings? Made me extremely upset. I needed to observe and portray scenes that were wrecking. There's a scene in the film that especially makes me extremely upset where Jim is in tears as he describes these awful scenes, including kids as youthful as 5, 6, or 7 years of age, as per Holy Messenger Studios, which holds the authorizing freedoms to the film. Its motivation is to feature the worldwide development to end the dealing of minors by actually imparting this film to crowds overall. It's extraordinary how Hollywood seems, by all accounts, to be treating this film with chilling disdain. The film has ignited recharged consideration on the business, causing a commotion wherever one noticeable figure now at the center of attention is Oprah Winfrey. Many recall her liberal $40 million gift to the Oprah Winfrey Initiative Foundation for Young Ladies in South Africa. A school known for its sumptuous conveniences like a youthful yoga studio and magnificent salon presently sees the open door, and that is the reason this is such a triumph. Tomorrow you will hear me doing the dance, since it's an astonishing new development. Murmurs started circling that only months after the school's fabulous opening, the residence lady had to deal with capture on penalties for a few 7th and 8th graders. Oprah purportedly moved away from the circumstances with bits of hearsay recommending she point fingers at the school organization, charging a cover-up and promising to seek after equity. Overwhelmingly, these disclosures have brutally highlighted the more obscure sides of charity and started worrying about how the business handles difficult issues with respect to the allegations. Oprah expressed that I needed to enlist an autonomous group on the grounds that my experience with kid hunters is that nobody at any point manhandles only one youngster, the denounced little Virginia Macopo, who was eventually found not guilty after a judge considered the case dubious, referring to the absence of confirmation in the understudy's declarations. Macopo keeps up with her honesty, guaranteeing she was wrongly ensnared in a trick. The occurrence has provoked inquiries regarding the unwavering quality of claims and the need for a fair and careful examination as per her. I don't have any idea what steps I will take at the present time, yet life for me, for the next 3 years, was only damnation, she told the Hours of South Africa today. I have been battling this case, which has left me humiliated, broke, and jobless. The 9 affirmed casualties were matured among 13 and 15 when they made their cases against Macopo, who was blamed for attacking the young people, as well as an individual manager, Winfrey, who called the charges squashing, particularly in light of the fact that of her own expressed history of success and guaranteed an upgrade of the school, she made her misery with the decision understood, and not just this youngster. Stars have likewise been casualties to CM by the leaders of the late Corey Feldman, who has been very blunt about the manners by which Hollywood can take advantage of youthful gifts frequently with the assistance of their overseers. Recently, a progression of disclosures has shown a glaring light on different features of Hollywood, from the way of behaving of the businesses tip-top to the E of people, as remarkably featured in Mel Gibson's disputable film. I'm expressing that there are individuals that did this to both me and Corey that are as yet figuring out they're still there, and they're probably the most extravagant and influential individuals in this business in 2013. Corey Feldman showed enormous boldness by distributing a journal where he straightforwardly chronicled the male therapy that he and his co-star Corey Ruffage had persevered at the hands of compelling figures inside Hollywood. Feldman uncovered that these occurred when they were just 11 to 13 years of age, revealing insight into the dim shadows that can linger over youthful entertainers in media outlets. Anyone who makes it sound so natural and innocent, I should, in the event that my mother's doing it, the way in which terrible might it be at any point. Furthermore, he persevered all through his vocation, strikingly during his early stages, reaching out past his time in Hollywood. He fearlessly expressed that his fights with substance and in his later life were to some degree, to a limited extent, an immediate outcome of the injury he had suffered during those difficult early years. His story highlights the enduring effect that such encounters can have on people. We had some good times. It resembled, you realize, that we're sitting in this young lady's loft. She takes me out driving. She showed me how to drive a stick shift. Interestingly, Corey has been uncovering. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.